There she is.
Hey,
How's it going, Dorothy?
happy Galentine's Day, because today is the day before Valentine's Day, so it's Gal.
Right. I was surprised you'd even be available this time of the year, it's so close to Valentine's Day.
I'm always available on Valentine's Day, damn it.
You don't have a Valentine's this Valentine's Day?
I have many Valentines. You know what? Not our fans. I would say our fans are my true Valentines. That's stupid.
Well, let's skip the Valentine's. Congrats on a kick-ass record. Let's get
Thank
into
you so
that.
much. Yes, thank you.
The way it's been great watching this ride for through your career, the fourth album now, the way, and hunkered down with Scott Stevens for this one, right?
Hunkered down is right. Yes, we hunkered down in Nashville, in LA. We wrote with a bunch of our friends. I'm glad I made the right choice. He is definitely a very good captain of this ship, and I would do another record with him in a heartbeat. He's a wonderful songwriter, producer, and human being.
Yeah, great guy. I spoke to him over the summer with the new Xyz EP that came out, which was amazing, and it's been great to see him kind of champion each single that comes out, and him talking about getting the screaming out of you on the first one, Mud, and speaking of Mud, a little semantics, I guess. I had just gotten around to saying Mud on, just calling the song Mud, even though the chorus has mud on you. But when it was released as a single, it was just mud, one word. But every time I'd hear the song, Mud on You was the chorus that would stick in my head. And
You
now,
know, and I went back and forth, and I'm like, do we call it Mud Anya or do we call it Mud? And I just landed on Mud. I don't know why. Just Mud.
but then on the album that I got, it says Mud on You.
Well, you know what? Tomato, tomato. I don't know.
Killer tune, and it just funny and just nerding out about that little stuff because that's what I kept hearing in my head was Mud on You, but a great song and one of those songs that Scott got you screaming on a little bit.
It's so funny. I was just out of curiosity in my hotel, pulled up How to Scream on YouTube the night before, and I was just looking at it and I was trying it out, and I still didn't really have the hang of it. But after I'd been in the studio singing my butt off for hours, my voice just started doing it, and the fry started happening naturally. And I was like, I hope you're recording this. I was just being a nerd, and I was just cracking myself up trying to scream on the microphone, and I was just screaming dirty over and over again. And so we worked it into the song and built it from there, and did it again on Tombstone Town too.
Yeah.
Just a happy accident, like Bob Ross would say.
Well, what's funny is talking about screaming because the way the album opens up with "I Come Alive," man, that vocal at the beginning is breathtaking. It feels like almost like the Pink Floyd, like the Great Gig in the Sky, like
Oh,
operatic vocals.
that is so funny you say that, because that's exactly what I was thinking. That's the first thing I heard in rock music was her vocal on Great
Wow.
Guy. My dad had the Dark Side of the Moon vinyl record. He had a huge record collection. I mean, he had every Bob Dylan vinyl, the original Thriller, Michael Jackson, like when it
Oh
came
yeah.
out. um Creedence Clearwater Revival, just so many different wonderful folk and rock and blues and Motown artists, and Pink Floyd. He had a lot of rock, classic rock too. So that was probably the first, that and Phil Collins. I guess I guess I could categorize that as soft rock.
Yeah.
In the
Pop
Air
rock.
Tonight, right?
Oh
Pop
yeah.
in the Air Tonight, and that's the first piece of rock music I ever heard was The Great Gig in the Sky, and I think it just got into my bones, and it came out in the studio, however many decades later.
It's great. I mean, especially with the screaming on Mud, and then the album opens up with you just wailing and singing. It was fantastic. But I think my favorite song on the album is the next one, The Devil I Know."
That's
Love
your
that
favorite.
riff.
Hey, you know what? I appreciate that a lot, because I really do love that song. My favorite part on that song is the bridge, because it kind of happened in a quick download in the studio. And to me, it felt like a prayer. And if you
Hmm.
read it's like a prayer. It's like you're crying out for help. And so it just happened like lightning in a bottle in the studio. And I love that song, and that's definitely to me the best part in the song is the bridge.
You had mentioned working with other people before, and I know on the last album you had worked with my friend Trev Lukather. Did he help out
Yes,
on this album as well?
not this time, but man, that's my bro. Talk about a great, talented guy.
Super.
I had a great time working on a few records with him for my last album, Gifts from the Holy Ghost. He's fantastic, and he's a friend of ours, me and the guys in my band. So he's just good people.
Well, speaking of someone you did work with, and you touched on it earlier with Tombstone Town, Slash, take me through that phone call.
Yes.
Did you pick up the phone, make the call? Was that a management thing? How did that all
We've
go
been
down?
No, I mean, we've been going back and forth for a while. I did a Triumph tribute with Mike Klink
Okay.
um and then that turned into Slash asking me to sing a blues record,
Oh,
Key to the Highway on his blues record. And then that turned into me sending him a bunch of songs like, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? Would you like to do a solo? Take your pick. And it landed on Tombstone Town, which I think was perfect anyway.
and killer that you got him in the video too, which felt like a Quentin Tarantino movie. Did you kind of write out that treatment, or how did that come to
Yeah.
be?
Yeah. So I mean, I collaborate on everything. I mean, the producer of the music video was Flavia, Scott Stevens' wife, and the director, Rich Ragsdale. He's great with narrative storytelling, and I wanted it to feel cinematic. I wanted a little bit of
Yeah.
acting. Um,
Yeah.
it's a little theatrical. I mean, they mixed the background LED screen with the props in the foreground, and I felt like I was on the set of Buffy the Vampire Slayer or something really cool. And so we really played up the wardrobe and the theatrics, and Slash looked killer in his hat. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
he looks so sick. So it was a lot of fun, a long shoot, very fun, very exciting. And yeah, and I love all the grindhouse elements that
Yeah. Yeah.
they added to it. So and I've always been afraid of doing voiceover, but I got to narrate the beginning. So I mean, I had to. At first I didn't want to because voiceover kind of scares me, um but I narrated it, and we got it. It was cool. I sat down in the studio with Stevens and just knocked it out. It came together quite nicely. I'm proud of it.
That's kind of hilarious to hear that you were scared for the narration, but you get up there and wail and scream, no problem.
Hey, we have our strengths and our weaknesses, you know?
I guess maybe just because I'm the polar opposite. I can talk on the radio, but I would never get on stage and sing. So maybe,
Maybe you should narrate it next time.
speaking of Slash, it's super cool that he's going to be at the El Rey show in LA coming up on March 21st. I imagine going to come out and play that one with you and maybe something
Oh,
else.
that's right. Yeah. I mean, as many as I can get. So it'll be a fun night for sure.
And looking at the set list for that El Rey show, how many playing off the new album versus the prior three?
I mean, we'll probably want to do a good mix. We don't want to do too many new songs. We want to give fans time to digest the album and start, their favorites grow on them, and also see what, how the songs do on streaming and whatnot. So I'm sure we'll definitely do Mud, Tombstone Town, and then we'll see what else. Yeah. Haven't had a chance to rehearse with the band yet, but no pressure. We'll lock it in.
Same band, Sam Bam and everyone?
Yeah, Sam Colton, Elliot. I believe Chris Reeves is playing drums with us this time. And then, my brother Jake will be joining us on tour this what is it, April, March
Yeah.
on the road.
Awesome. Awesome. And it's going to be great to see you on a headline set. The last headliner I saw you was the House of Blues of Anaheim a few
Oh,
years
yes.
back. And it's gotten to that point now where I think I need to see headline sets from you, like seeing you over the summer with Creed on the summer of '99 and beyond is such a little tease at this point. But I imagine cool to do the big festival outdoor Glen Helen show that we had here in SoCal.
Oh, it was great. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. It was a great experience. I love Creed, so it was great. It was a bucket list moment for me.
And doing the cruise with them too now, right?
Not this year, actually. We couldn't make that work, so we're going straight into our Nashville show on the headliner.
Oh, nice. Nice. Well, look forward to that El Rey show and appreciate the time. Last thing I needed your help with, Dorothy. We're an old school radio station. We do a feature called Mandatory Metallica, which you're going to be a part of. And I've been having this little Metallica debate I wanted to get your opinion on.
Oh gosh, no pressure.
Really just kind of debating their best thrash metal album from back in the day. The album two, Ride the Lightning, versus album three, Master of Puppets. If you had to choose one out of those two, where would you fall in line with?
Maybe Ride the Lightning.
Ooh, okay. Tell me why. What's swaying you that way?
That's the older one, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So, probably the stuff I grew up on, and it just takes me back to my childhood.
just headbanging.
Oh yeah. Well, I can't anymore. You don't want to give yourself you don't want to give yourself whiplash. I wouldn't recommend. I don't know how people headbang the right way. If there is a right way to do it, please let me know because I definitely messed it up.
Get sore neck the next day and everything when you try
Uh,
to.
yeah, we call it a bangover, right?
Yeah. I remember talking to you before, and you had said that it was like your neighbor's dad that used to play like Metallica in the garage and stuff, and that was kind of your
Oh, Lance,
introduction.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yes, and he had a big lifted truck with flames on the side of it. He was a
Nice.
cool dad. It was always football night at his house, and yeah.
Metallica and hard rock
That
blasting
was
out.
my introduction to Metallica. That's right. Yeah. Blasting it in the garage. Drinking Coors. I mean, not as a child, him. He was an
Right,
adult. So
right, right,
allowed to do that.
right. Just to put a button on it, is there a Metallica song we can play for you on Mandatory Metallica?
Yeah. Play me fuel.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Love that tune.
Your adrenaline going.
Yeah, that's a foot stomper. Beautiful. Thank you so much for the time. The Killer album. Can't wait for that El Rey show.
Thank you. See you soon.
See ya. Bye bye.
Bye.